Hey folks, what's going on? It's Coach Gav here from Training for Warriors Kildare. So today I want to talk to you a little bit about perception and reality and the difference between the two, and oftentimes how that difference or the blurring of the lines between them can cause quite an issue, or issues as the case may be. So if anyone saw my appearance today, I'm currently got yellow and black nail polish on. Was over collecting Freya yesterday. She was getting her nails done and she asked could she do mine, and the answer of course was yes, because any half respecting parent, when your daughter asks to paint your nails, the answer is absolutely yes. And I don't know if you can see, but she did my toes too. So I've got yellow left and right, yellow on my left side, black on my right side. Also sporting some flip-flops, shorts, and where are they gone? Leggings. So it's safe to say my outfit isn't exactly, ready for the Milan catwalks just yet. So went out for a bit of a walk in between appointments this morning and got the coffee and that. And I realised when I was paying for my coffee, the look on the girl's face behind the counter. Because again, perception being, good Lord, this is some kind of goth weirdo, or some kind of, this chap has lost all of his marbles. And even up until yesterday, I had a bit of a scruffy beard. So again, the perception being that, on the surface, it is a head-turning look. And, in my opinion, it's head-turning for the right ways. In others, it may be head-turning for the, what in God's name have I just seen? So, that's the perception. And the reality is this is a grown man who basically lets his daughter paint his nails because it puts a smile on her face and it's completely harmless fun, and why not? So oftentimes that can happen with ourselves in life as you go along. Situations in work, situations at school, situations in training, family situations, personal situations. Oftentimes we can perceive things one way when in reality they are meant a completely different way. And the whole perception reality thing I like to compare it back to the Disney film Inside Out, where there is the 5 emotions in the character's head: joy, sadness, disgust, fear, and anger. So basically, to really briefly recap the film, it suggests that there's like a little kind of PlayStation controller or control panel in our mind, and depending on which of the emotions are in control at the time, our reactions will be different. And there's some great scenes in it where the different emotions keep fighting for control of the control panel in the characters' heads, and then it just all kind of, your standard family argument kind of breaks out. I would go and watch it. Kids wise, I know it's a kids film, but I know it's some of the stuff, it's funny, it just gets a little lost in the kids. But anyways, perception and reality. So oftentimes, that confusion can be huge, and for a long time, again, perception, kind of how things were perceived, caused myself a lot of trouble. Both how I was perceiving things and how things I was saying and doing came across. And you can't, no matter how hard you try, you can't make sure that everyone out there picks up everything you say and do exactly how you meant it to be. We shot a couple of videos last week. We shot 1 or 2 that were very close to the bone and emotional and raw. And the sole purpose of shooting them and releasing them was so that someone out there could get some help and some support from it. And that was it. However, the perception being is that in some cases that it was attention seeking. And let me be perfectly clear, if I wanted attention, talking about those things would be the last thing I would do. But again, you can't go and change that. You can just go, okay, that's how you picked it up and so be it, and just try not lose sleep over it. Because you could argue that case, oh well, this was this and this was that, but you're probably going to get nowhere. And oftentimes, again, myself and Vanessa, so Freya's mum, we've had a bit of a rocky road the last kind of 5 years, since we've known each other. And oftentimes, even in that situation, to a big extent, you kind of, some things were perceived the wrong way, and then they had a domino effect, and then kind of you were kind of backtracking, and even to this day we still talk about stuff from the past and kind of go, I thought you meant this, so I said or did that, and vice versa, and then the domino effect from there, and you kind of look and you go, oh yeah. And even with my brothers and sisters and people I used to work with then as well, and you know, all that kind of stuff then as well, you kind of, when you look back, you go, oh, when you said or did this, I took it in this manner or in this context, so then they reacted differently. So kind of, and that's perfectly normal for those things to happen then as well. But coming off the back of the longer of the two videos we released last week, that was kind of, I got a couple of people who kind of had reached out and asked, well, how did you turn the tide, or how are you turning the tide on your anxiety and on the black dog and things like that? And it was a case of, I deal in reality as often as I can, because reality, you can't argue it. You know, you might not like it the whole time, but at least you know it is exactly what it is. It's exactly what it says in the tin. It's no more, no less. It's, you know, it's exactly what it is. And then that enables you then to go and to base your actions and your plans off of a concrete thing. You know, if the sky is blue and water is wet, you know, you're not going to go out, oh, it's dry rain out there. You know, if it's raining and you're going outside, you know you have to put a jacket on. That's a fact. Okay? So you can't kind of go, you know, it's raining, but it might be dry rain. So that's a real weird analogy, I know, but we're just kind of running with it then as well. And I suppose that was the one big thing, was just to deal with everything in facts, because oftentimes how I was picking things up, it was telling me a different story in my own head, and I was getting all worked up and emotional and this, that and the other, and getting all my knickers in a twist, and then I would say and do things based off of that. So my actions and my thoughts and the things I said were coming from kind of a false foundation. So I had built up this idea or this story in my head that when this person said or did something, you know, it came across the wrong way. And it is, I know there's a whole lot of kind of, you know, he said, she said, and, you know, this person, that person, because you can't really get into specifics, because you could, but we'd be here for I don't think my phone memory's got that much space on it. But what I'm just trying to get across here is to really kind of get you guys and girls thinking about the whole difference between perception and reality. Because even nowadays, we live in a world where reality isn't even reality, because we're force-fed this story and these lies and this complete fabrication of crap that reality TV feeds us. Big Brother and Geordie Shore and, you know, Christ, I don't know, take your pick of them. None of them are actually real. It's all a case of, you know, like there's 24 hours in a day. So if I showed you half an hour, if I filmed, let's say I get Mike in from Next Move Media, right? So Mike's our film guy. He does all our film stuff for us, right? I get Mike in. Mike films me from the second I wake up to the second I go to sleep. So that's like a 17, 18 hour day, okay? And then Mike goes and releases a 30-second clip of that. Look at all the footage he's got together for the whole day. But we only released a 30-second trailer, like really quick show bits. That will tell you one story about my day. And we could tweak and edit that clip to show you different stories, to tell things differently then as well, to create a reality or to create a perception that things are going a certain way. And then imagine when you go and there's TV shows where they film a week's worth of footage and they show it to you in an hour. So that's like 168 hours filmed, and they only show you an hour. Okay, yeah, so track the time to sleeping and all that kind of carry on then as well. So if reality TV actually showed reality, it would be a lot of ordinary everyday stuff with some peaks of kind of excitement and exciting things as you go along, all right? And then what happens here is, and that's not necessarily the issue, because, you know, watching reality TV or watching TV in general allows you to be able to, when you go with it from the point of view of saying, this is basically like a movie, this is a story, this isn't actually how life goes. You can actually go and enjoy the shows. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the shows. What I'm saying is, what's wrong with it is that when we use it as a point of comparison. So, again, what I mean by that is that I go and watch Big Brother, okay? And I see all the drama that's on it there. and then I go and live my life every day, and I kind of go, Jesus, my life's not got that much drama in it. My life mustn't be, that must not be right, or must not be normal. When in reality, going and living a normal life is perfectly normal. And yeah, there's plenty of excitement and drama in my life, as there is everyone's life then as well. But what I'm getting at is that, especially for the current generation of teenagers and kids that are growing up then as well, they're going to grow up around all these shows and these environments and these TVs and these movies and these songs and these music videos that create this perception, or create this idea that here's how you're supposed to carry on. Here's how you're supposed to hold yourself. Here's how you're supposed to carry yourself. Here's how, this is normal for your life to be full of this much drama and this much hassle and fighting and all this kind of carry on then as well. And again, I know this is a super general statement and a super general concept, but guess what? Because the amount of people that we're reaching with this video, maybe a fraction of a percent of the people watching this will actually have a high drama life. And I do know people, and they've got a rough deal of the cards in life, and they just had one situation after another over and over again. And there's not much you can do about that. But for every one person I know like that, I maybe know 150 or 200 people where things are just, things are grand. We get up, we go do work, we got bills to pay, we've holidays, we've growth, education, family life, things like that then as well. All perfectly normal bits as well. So again, kind of, I suppose to wrap up here is I'm hoping the concept here has made sense throughout the last 10 minutes, where again, the perception of something and then the reality of something, yes, there is some crossover, absolutely, but just be careful. Maybe kind of not always question, but as often as you can, question how you're picking things up, question how you are looking at things, and kind of go, so before I fly off the handle if something bad happens, I kind of pause and go, okay, well, is this as bad as it seems, or am I blowing it out of proportion? Is what they have said and done as bad as it comes across, or am I just getting too emotional over it? And then base my next set of actions off of that then as well. And you might be sitting there going, yeah, but you can't do that in the moment. Yeah, you can, because I'm a notoriously good I'm a notoriously good thinker at this stage, where I like to kind of pause and get my head around, kind of, if I've thoughts in my head, I like to go and sit down and think about my thoughts. So if I'm thinking of something, kind of, okay, well, is that actually true? Is that something that is real? Because I don't want to say, oh, I think this, and then I say it, and then it's out there. And when you say stuff, it's really hard to take it back, and it's really hard to kind of regain. You can't go, oh, sorry, I actually didn't mean that. Oh, but you said it. So it's kind of one of those things where just kind of bide your time and kind of box smart and kind of just wait, think things out, and then say it. It reminds me of one of the guys in college, Captain Jim. Jim didn't make many jokes. Jim was one of the gang, and he kind of was always there and potted around, and he was always good crack. He didn't make many jokes. He never tried to kind of force to be kind of the leader of the pack or the front, but he was always reliable. But whenever Jim came out with a joke, or whenever Jim had something to say, it was pure gold every time. And that became his thing, where we all knew where if Jim was weighing in on it, it was going to be funny. And so you can do that. Just take your time and just kind of be kind of slow to anger, I think is the line from the Bible. Just take your time, and it is hard. There's plenty of times where I'd love to just snap back straight away, but that just makes things worse. It doesn't make things any easier. So kind of, if you're in the eye of the hurricane again, and things you're struggling with them, just deal with the reality. The reality is X, Y, and Z. But the perception on top of the reality could make it look like X, Y, and Z, and make things way more worse than it actually is. Alright folks, I hope this made a little bit of sense. If it doesn't, just comment below and say, could you clarify this, could you clarify that? And if it's not for you, just don't watch it again and move on. Leaving a negative comment's not going to affect my day in any way, shape or form. If anything, it'll just cause me to think, why did that person feel compelled to take time out of their day to comment on a video they didn't like? Because if I go and have a meal somewhere and I don't like it, I'm not going to run back and be like, hey, didn't like that. I just won't go there again. Right, guys, take it easy. I'll talk to you soon. God bless. Bye.